Hi, my name is Andrew Waba, and I'm the host and GM of the Mythril Tabletop, and these are my wonderful players.
Hi guys, this is Ashley, the voice behind Khepri, the halfling druid.
This is Katie, the player behind the elven inventor Keryth.
This is Anjela, the voice of our catfolk barbarian Tanhi.
This is Alyssa, and I play the human cleric Habibi.
This is Erin, the voice of the human magus Tariq, and you're listening to our behind-the-scenes interview, Going Up Level 4.
Last week, you guys all leveled up. And next week, we'll jump right back into the story. We'll mention briefly what we did for our level up, for those people who may or may not skip this. But in the meantime, I want to talk about like our characters and like how your characters have been growing, because you guys are at 4th level, and that's a pretty big jump, not just mechanically and like for the numbers, all numbers go up, yay, but like also like your character is now a 5th of the way to 20th level. Like that's a pretty significant milestone, I think.
I think so too.
Do you guys want to talk about like how that looks? Like, let's start off with Anjela. Like, what does Tanhi look like now at 4th level? What did you do for your class?
Well, I took Wounded Rage because I feel like Tanhi she was getting hit a little bit too much and not reacting enough. So, like, I know
Tanhi's a little too hot-headed to not react.
Right?
Is this your first reaction? Like, do you have other options yet?
For her, there may have been a couple of other options, but this was the only one that really called to me in terms of Tanhi. Because she's gonna try to always be the front line, always in the front. So typically she's gonna be the one that's gonna draw the eyes of the enemies.
And their swords.
And their teeth. And their claws.
Yes.
Yep.
And everything else they got.
Yeah, let's not talk about everything else.
What, the tentacles?
Spoilers.
No.
Spoilers.
Hasn't happened yet.
But yeah, no. So, Wounded Rage, I was really looking forward to this trait, actually. Because I also don't like wasting actions. I'm very, like, I have 3 actions. I'm gonna be as, what's the word?
Tactical? Methodical?
Yes, as possible. And if I don't have to waste an action raging, perfect.
Yeah.
That's really on brand for Tanhi as a character anyway. Because Tanhi is very much like, we're going to do this, we're going to get it done now, and I'm not messing around.
Yeah, that and, like, the whole, like, when they hit her, she's like, how dare you? And now, there's the mechanical side of it.
There you go. There's something that reflects the nature
it.
and the character. I like it.
Finally.
What about Tanhi's best friend, Habibi? You're not doing too great over there, are you?
Well, I mean, Habibi's doing all right.
He's fine.
Yeah, he'll live forever.
He better.
For his class feat, he kind of picked that with Tanhi in mind. It's called Radiant Infusion.
Okay. What is Radiant Infusion?
After healing an ally, you pour so much like positive energy into them that they're able to deal an additional 1d6 positive damage with their melee weapons.
Oh, it has to be a melee weapon. Okay, interesting.
Well, and unarmed attacks.
Okay, sure.
Is that the one that undead are, like, especially susceptible to?
Oh, that makes sense for the name Radiant. Like the
Nice.
Radiant Crusade, or the Shining Crusade, I guess. Radiant?
Yeah.
Oh, whatever, close enough. Like the bright light.
That's gonna be real nice.
I like that.
That works a lot for
Yeah,
Habibi too.
Tanhi's gonna be so overpowered.
You guys don't know there's going to be undead. You've only fought like 2 undead so far.
It's literally called the Mummy's Mask.
6 heads. We're all
you're right.
Been more than that?
You're right. I forgot about the 6 heads and the ghouls and shit.
Even if it was just 2, that's too many.
Oh, okay. I'm so sorry.
Don't forget the skeleton guard.
That's true.
Skeleton Guard is fine. They are fine. Undead typically have some kind of undead fever.
Oh, some of them do, yeah.
Yeah.
Like vampires, ghouls, gas.
As we've
That's
discovered.
a very good point. And I have to agree. I don't like fighting undead either, but then again, if we're going through tombs and old buildings and stuff, I don't think we get a choice.
No. Oh, no, I don't think so.
Yeah, I mean, this adventure is called Mummy's Mask, right? You're eventually going to fight a mummy, too.
Oh, I am terrified, but also excited for that.
Oh,
We
nice.
haven't fought a mummy, right? No, because the closest
yet.
thing was that sticky monster.
Adherer.
Yeah.
And he, like, tricked us and
It wasn't
got my
nice.
staff stuck on it.
I was
Which,
stuck.
by the way, my feat for my class feat was actually dealing with my staff. And in particular, like, my brand of Magus, which is Twisted Tree. I mean, this is really specifically just for that, because another type
It's
of
your
Magus
subclass
wouldn't
feat.
really use this one. So pretty much it's with what you said, subclass feat there. And it goes, one of the features that I have is Arcane Cascade, which I know I forget to do a lot of the times, but it's really nice because typically when I go into these, think of them as kind of preparing, like, almost, I want to say like karate people, but I don't know anything about karate, but you know how they fight with staffs and stuff like that, like maybe even monk class. Well, it's like when they kind of go into these poses and it kind of, kind of strengthens their core or whatever. So it gives them that +1 to whatever spell I just used. And that's why I usually don't use it, because Spell Strike takes 2 actions.
It's just +1, right?
Yeah, and I gotta use it like literally after I cast a spell, or else I don't really get that 1 extra damage. But what this does, Student of the Staff says I'm, over this time, and like especially with these adventures that we've had, I mean, how many things have we fought off so far in a handful of days? So Tariq is kind of learning how to better use his staff, and when he's in Arcane Cascade now, he gets, instead of just 1, he gets on top of the 1, he gets an extra 1d6 of that same damage. So like, say if I cast like Ray of Frost, typically in Arcane Cascade, I would enter it, I would get 1 cold. Now I get 1 cold plus 1d6 cold on top of that.
Wait, what did you call it? You said it was what kind of
It says
trait is this exactly?
deadly
You said
d6 trait, which applies to the damage type from the extra
gotcha.
damage die from, extra damage.
So deadly d6 only applies on critical hits.
No, it says while you're in Arcane Cascade stance.
Yes, so you don't get the deadly d6 unless you're in Arcane Cascade, but once you're in Arcane Cascade, then you get the deadly d6 on top of it. It's not continuous extra d6 damage, it's only when you crit, but that's still like an extra d6. That's still not nothing. More importantly, your Student of the Staff allows you to do something else with your staff too. You said it allows you to put runes on your staff?
Yeah, also on crit hit, it also lets me do the special effect of the club group, which is basically just kind of almost like shoving them up to 10 feet in the direction that I choose. So that's pretty nice too. But it does let me
Tariq is just getting really good with his stick.
Yeah, that's basically what it is.
It's because he got so insulted by the blacksmith.
It's just a stick.
You wanted to go on this
One thing I love about this Student of the Staff feat that you've chosen is Tariq really is still young, but is starting to master and understand how to use stuff. So it shows him becoming, the student turning into the master. And I love watching Tariq as he kind of grows throughout this.
Yeah, he's a student of the staff. He's learning the staff better. He's learning how to master it. Yeah, I like that.
It's a wonderful name.
It's very aptly named.
Yeah, and hopefully soon I'll be able to add like some of those property runes to it and everything like that as well. So like if I and right now that I think I can add that right now because I don't have a magical staff in the sense that's magical. But if I eventually get a true magic staff, I would be able to apply property runes to that, even though
I
normally
highly
couldn't.
recommend it. Some of the earlier staffs are really fun. Like one of them is called Staff of Fire. You just get a bunch of fire stuff. I'm sure you and Keryth can bond over that.
I feel like
it's not a stick.
No, but he'll have like a bunch of fire powers.
I feel like Tariq has
fire.
a lot of like untapped potential still kind of sitting in there, and it's gonna come out very soon.
Oh, for sure.
Keryth, did you do anything for your staff? Yours is a spear, right?
Mine is a spear. It has a pointy end. Thank you very much. And kind of, though, this isn't specific to just this weapon, technically. Anyway, so for my
Well, what did you get
class,
first?
Megaton Strike.
I
Okay.
love that it's called Megaton.
Well, I mean, that's
Yeah,
Megaton
there's a
Strike.
later feat called Gigaton
Oh,
Strike
jeez.
also.
Really?
Jeez.
That's
Yeah.
hilarious.
Giga Strike.
But basically what it is, it takes 2 actions, but you make a strike, and if you hit, you deal an extra die of damage. So
Oh.
I don't have a striking rune yet, so I do 2d of whatever my damage is, and it'll go up at level 10 and then again at level 18.
Nice. So it scales with you too. That's pretty good.
Yep. And it doesn't by default have the unstable trait, but I can give it the unstable trait, and if I do, it adds an additional damage die.
So
Oh my.
So I can, in my head, I can understand and picture like the character universe, like how Tariq would like be better with his staff. Like he's just adding more magical potential into it. He's channeling his arcane knowledge into his staff. But for Keryth, you're using mechanical gears and springs and like nuts and bolts and stuff. Like how does this look for Keryth? Like when he brings his spear down, which he invented himself, like this elven branch spear that he created, what does it look like so that it hits so hard?
So in my head, I think I'm getting this idea because of the name of like Megaton. So like I imagine like the part that he is either like stabbing or slashing with, whether doing piercing or slashing damage, he's got some form of a some kind of like a propellant, not like a rocket per se, but something that like as he goes to stab or slash at the enemy, it kind of like activates and gives that extra oomph that he
Like very steampunk
that
vibe.
like he can't do like on his own with like his own physical strength.
Overwatch, the guy with the giant hammer, what's his name? Reinhardt. You know who I'm talking about? Reinhardt from Overwatch?
What's Overwatch?
Overwatch is it's just a video game. It's kind of like almost like
It's a battle royale.
Yeah, it's almost
type
like
of
League
game.
of Legends.
Oh, gotcha.
But Reinhardt is like this German mecha soldier guy with a big hammer, and he swings his hammer with rockets on the end. It just kind of like it like comes out.
I wonder if in Zelda, if you could make one of those with like a rocket on it.
Probably.
That'd be kind of fun, actually. But no, is that what you're talking about, Katie? Just rocket-powered staff?
So I feel like Keryth is kind of looking at Tariq, and he sees he's like, I see what you're doing, and I want to make it better because he took wizard as his
Archetype.
Yeah, archetype. And then, like, he's also, like, upgrading. Of course, that's part of his thing, is he's spear, but, like, it's called a strike.
Megaton strike, spell strike.
So,
Oh,
Megaton
no.
strike, spell strike.
Look at me. I can do that
I'm just
too.
saying.
Look at me. I can do that too.
To be fair, as an inventor, Keryth is always trying to find ways to like improve his innovation, which for him is his weapon. So
It's okay. You can say Tariq's your muse. You enjoy it.
I wouldn't go that far.
Oh my gosh, that's really
Oh
funny.
my.
Honestly, though, Keryth is much older than Tariq. So if anything,
Oh,
Tariq
no.
is copying Keryth for having
Oh.
a spear/staff-like weapon.
Wow. We see a rivalry growing? Is that what's happening? Is this
We
Michigan
can't have
versus
a rivalry
OSU?
in the group.
Oh
That's
man.
so funny.
I'd be OSU
Well,
because
speaking
they're
of,
better.
wow.
Like
Badoo
Texas
kiss.
versus West Virginia.
Oh god.
What?
So speaking of OSU,
I don't know sports, actually. I just know Ohioans
they
hate
do.
Michigan.
It's vicious.
We do.
Uh,
We do.
Speaking of which, Khepri Ashley, person, you graduated from OSU, so this is clearly the segue we're intended.
I graduated from OSU.
Khepri Ashley.
I know. That's my new name. Khepri Ashley Person. Someone change it in the group chat. Anyway,
What did Khepri do?
so for the class feat, Khepri, of course, needed to use this opportunity to make Ramses a little bit bigger. I think it's important because she does rely on Ramses a lot. Everyone has like a stick or, something
giant
to
axe.
hit other people with, and she's really small, so she doesn't have that much force behind her, meaning that she needs to have Ramses be that force, and Ramses has some amazing jaws. So we did take mature animal companion, and it says that he grows up, he's more mature,
Oh, he's an
and
adult
then
now.
yeah, it's kind of heartbreaking, but also amazing.
But he's still her little baby.
Now Ramses is able to do a stride or a strike with one action without me commanding him. So it's kind of like getting
More independent. Yeah, so
Yeah.
now you're basically,
It's-
you constantly have 4 actions, essentially.
Yeah, it's
Sort
a
of.
really, really nice way to, continue and keep Ramses going a little more independent and add a little more when Khepri can't do much. Okay.
Okay, well, you guys all have the, we're playing with the variant rule, our free archetype, obviously. Every table that I've heard of at Pathfinder, they play with free archetype. That's basically the default rule set now. And you guys all have, like, very interesting archetypes. Do you guys want to talk about that real quick? Or, like, what you took for your archetype feat? Or,
Yeah, did we ever talk about that,
I
really?
don't know if you guys mentioned all your archetypes. I know some of them are a little clear.
I
Like,
think we did.
we mentioned Keryth as a wizard, right? And, like, I know...
No, wizard. Keryth.
Yeah, his is the only one I know, because I don't really know anybody
Well, we know
else.
Habibi is a blessed archetype because he has lay on hands and stuff. But yeah, actually, why don't we start with Habibi and then we'll go down the list that way. But like Habibi, you have the blessed archetype. What? Tell us more about that. Like what did you take with your level 4 archetype feat?
I mean, because he's so #blessed, with his next archetype for that one is Blessed Sacrifice, which I think is very fitting for his character because Habibi would sacrifice himself if it were to protect his companions. So with Blessed Sacrifice, he's able to... he gains the Protector Sacrifice domain spell. It's a reaction. So I protect an ally by suffering instead of them. So I reduce the damage that they would take by like 3. And it increases as I level up. So
Okay, that's pretty good.
So does it basically, like, it takes 3 hit points from you then?
yeah, essentially, because I take the damage instead of them.
Yeah, we don't see very many focus points from the rest of the party. Like I know you use lay on hands and stuff, and you used it a couple times, but yeah, like Tariq, you have a focus spell too that you hardly ever use. I know Khepri has like wild shape and heal animal and stuff, but she barely uses that too.
But the problem with mine is mine comes with the twisting staff, and it's best used when you have, like, it's the whole point of it is to hit 2 people.
Gotcha.
So what I'm doing, if I start with it, it does restore my spell strike, but it takes 2 actions, and if there isn't like a second enemy, it's like I basically get 1 hit, and sometimes it's just not worth it. Sometimes
Actually, I think it only takes 1 action. It's
well.
1 action. Casting time 1.
Okay, new information processing. Apparently, I suck at playing my character, so
That's okay. That's kind of part of the reason why we talk about these too, because we get to learn our characters as well a little bit more. I think, I don't know. Anyways, I like talking about these characters as they grow and level up because I can see how like they advance. So what did you take for your archetype, by the way? What is Tariq's archetype, anyways?
So kind of inspired by both his birth parents and his adoptive parents, he went ahead and took the archaeologist dedication. So he is an archaeologist. And at level 4, he took the trap finder, which basically allows him, if I'm correct, allows him to get a +1 circumstance bonus to his perception checks for finding traps. And then I think like technically you have to like say I'm looking for a trap, but with trap finder he can just basically do the
automatically,
perception check, right?
Yeah.
So he doesn't have to be like actively searching to necessarily like spot a trap. And also I can disable it with my proficiency rank in Master of Thievery.
Oh.
So it gives me like a +2 bonus.
Oh wow. So if you're just an expert in thievery.
Oh,
currently.
that's when I go to legendary. It's a +2 bonus.
Oh wow. So you can basically disable traps of a tier higher than you're normally able to do. Wow, that's pretty good actually. That's not bad.
Yeah. So Khepri won't be the only one good at disabling.
Actually, I
traps.
think that officially makes you better than her.
Oh yeah, tell that to her. Tell that to Khepri.
Hey, you're the one.
joking.
You're the one related to her. You tell her.
Sorry, young sibling reaction there.
All right. So we know Habibi is blessed, and he takes the sacrifice one. It's kind of like a
Hashtag blessed.
it's like a like the poor man's reactive.
He blesses us with his presence.
That's right, boo.
It's like retributive strike or whatever the other one was. And then we see that that Tariq, he's better at traps. What about Keryth? What did you take for your archetype feat?
So I did the wizard dedication, so he has the wizard archetype. And he's seen some of the party members use a particular spell quite a lot, which would be electric arc. And so he did not have it, and he wanted it because it looked cool and fun. So I took cantrip expansion, which gives me 2 more cantrips that I can prepare each day from the dedication. So before, I only had Produce Flame and Phase Bolt for the dedication. So now I have Electric Arc and Gale Blast.
And you're part of the Electric Art Club now.
Yes!
Woo!
Electric Arc Club!
So, Tanhi, what'd you do for your archetype?
Well, so I had the Undead Slayer dedication, and from that, it's gonna revolve a lot around undead. So I took Blessed Medicine, which if I fail a check to treat a disease that was inflicted by the undead, like ghoul fever or mummy rot, like those are examples, I get to re-roll the failed check. But I have to use the new
Nice.
result. I can't use...
It's not like hero point.
Yeah.
So our house rules, we always use the higher of the 2 rolls for a hero point, which it seems really nice. It makes it feel much more heroic. I don't think it breaks anything, but at the same time, Blessed Medicine is not a hero point, so that's rough. So I guess you have to
that's
choose
tricky.
between rolling a hero point, taking the better of the 2, or just re-rolling it. I guess if you roll like a 1, it's just like everything's going to be better or the same. So let's just roll Blessed Medicine. That's pretty nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, and undead are notorious with all the diseases they have. There's so many diseases.
Oh, yeah. And I mean, she's been watching Habibi be, like, really sick, and she's also sick. So she's probably internalizing, like, okay, like, I can do this. Like, I can get over this. I can help other people get over this.
Yeah, and with such a big family, you probably have, like, wives' tales of, like, this is how you treat this. Like, we have, like, tricks. Like, this has, like, 7 kids sick at the same time. What do we do? Ginger ale.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Ginger ale.
For sure.
I did have this one archetype that kept floating around in my head. I don't know. You seem like Tanhi seems like the most likely to take it. Have you ever looked at the Cost Stone, like the living monolith dedication?
Isn't that one of the ones that you were telling me about when I was making my champion?
I think so. It's very thematic to this part of the world, but why don't you keep thinking about it? I just feel like Tanhi like vibes with that archetype a lot, but
What was it
look
again?
into it. The living monolith dedication.
Living monolith.
Yeah, you'd be able to take the dedication at 8th level.
Yeah. I think
We
I'm
have
gonna
to
get
get one more.
I think I'm
feat.
gonna take a new dedication at 10th level because I think I wanted, if I was remembering correctly, I wanted the 6th and 8th level undead.
Yeah, so you look into that. Let me know. Last but not least, Khepri, what did you do for your archetype? First of all, what is your archetype exactly?
So my archetype is Horizon Walker dedication. So and I have my favorite terrain as the desert. So pretty much I get a plus 10 foot circumstance bonus to my travel speed in the desert specifically. And when I picked acclimatization, it is a way to help everybody else. So I can become kind of like a guide, and I can say, hey, I know where I'm going, and if you help follow me, it kind of helps give some resistance to damage. Isn't that correct for my allies?
Environmental damage specifically. Yeah,
Yes.
so like the extreme heat of the desert.
Yep. So I figured it'd be nice because I wanted to flavor it. Like, Khepri has grown up here her entire life, and Khepri is very familiar with the desert in particular, and she wants to be able to help those, especially during these very interesting travels they take, she wants to go and help out and say, hey, if you listen to me, I can help get you where we need to go and help make sure you don't get hurt.
So you can share some of those benefits, but with the follow the expert activity. That means like as you guys are like in exploration mode or like wandering through the desert, like she's taking the lead, you guys follow her and stuff. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, and it's interesting because
she's so
I
short.
kind of laugh at it
Yeah.
because Tariq and Tanhi, in my opinion, are kind of the leaders of this group, and Tariq's her younger brother, but once the desert hits, it'll be Khepri who is leading everybody, and it'll be kind of fun to watch everybody much taller than Khepri follow this little tiny halfling.
Like I imagine on like lazy Saturday afternoons or whatever, like Tariq would be at home like either working out or studying his spell book, trying to get as much out of that like magical enchantment as he could, and Khepri's like, come on Ramses, let's go outside and play.
Exactly, because she wants to understand nature around her, and even though the desert, a lot of people don't think as synonymous with nature, the desert is nature. There's a lot of stuff going on there. There are lots of creatures who live there.
It's a very important ecology or ecosystem.
Oh, it's amazing how creatures, plants, animals, etc. have adapted to live in the desert. Now, I was horrible at plant biology.
I was gonna say, since you talk about kind of getting to know a little bit nature and like specifically the desert because of the area around us, we can go ahead and talk about skill feats, because I know one of mine that I selected for level 4 was called Settlement Scholastics. So it's a little bit, it's not really on the nature aspect, but more of like the society aspect, because, you know, he's more book smart than you're more nature smart. So he's like, he has, you know, he studies things. He's an archaeologist, so he's trying to pick up on things. He's been trying to learn some new languages, even though he's kind of not the best at it. He's learning a little bit from Habibi as they like walk through the halls and stuff like that, practicing ancient Osiriani. So we might see that bust out sometime soon in our episodes, that he's going to be able to now be able to speak ancient Osiriani. But he also gets to pick up some lore from a specific settlement. So when we started this game, he already started with Wati lore, and I'm not going to share just yet the lore that he's been reading about, but I will say it is another Osiriani city that perhaps we'll get to later in this adventure, or not. It's just something that's been brought up in his studies. So he's kind of learning more about another settlement that is in Osiriani.
And you're not just trained in it either. You become expert in this lore.
Yes. So
which is so
that
nice.
is amazing.
That means between archaeologists taking like the dedication, you become expert in thievery and society, and then settlement scholastics. By level 4, you can become an expert in I want to say 4 different skills, which is almost as good, if not slightly better than the rogue, which is bonkers to me.
That's amazing.
Yeah, he's very skillful.
Tariq is a very powerful character.
You guys all are.
Aw, shucks.
One thing, just to assure the audiences here. So when Erin was working on the level up, she asked me, "Hey, what kind of cities are in Osirian?" And I just mentioned like, you know, just random cities. I mentioned Sothis, the capital. I mentioned the sister cities of Wati, and then Erin's like, "I picked that one." I'm like, "Okay, whatever you say." So if it comes up, great. If it doesn't, like
I said, I don't know. He wouldn't give that to me, but I was like, eeny, meeny, miny, mo.
She did. She eeny, meeny, miny, mo. So we'll see if it actually comes up or not, but it could be.
Is it going to come up?
It might be next chapter. Maybe in the next book 2, we go to this city. Maybe we never go to this city. Who knows? Maybe it'll be like 5 years from now. We're level 17 and it finally shows up. Maybe.
Dear Lord, it's going to take us 5 years to get to level 17.
Who knows? Who knows? Who's to say?
What else did you guys do for your skill feats?
Well, you know, since we were kind of talking about, Andrew had mentioned thievery, and for my skill feat, I actually took wary disarmament. So if I trigger a device or set off a trap while disarming it, I get a +2 circumstance bonus to the AC or saving throw against that device or trap. So
it would have been nice for Tariq to have.
Look at the sibling duo with the traps. Yeah.
You guys are just good at disabling all the traps around. So Tariq is good at finding them, and Khepri is good at disarming them, or is good at protecting herself from that?
I think that's a good way to put it. I think both of them work hard at it, and maybe it came up to a point where like Tariq just constantly would find them, and Khepri would constantly be able to get them disarmed, and they kind of just came up with their own little vibe for it, if that makes any sense.
I love it. Yeah, their own like pattern.
We're like a mini team within our whole team.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Guys, we
and
discovered
I love...
a bomb, or we discovered a trap. Send it to the trap squad.
Oh my gosh, we're like our own little bomb squad.
But it's the sibling trap instead of
The sibling trap instead of the
Oh,
parent
that's
trap.
good. It's a sister trap. That's good.
Oh, lordy.
All right, what about the other two almost siblings? Tanhi and Habibi. What'd you guys do for skill feats?
Well, so kind of piggybacking off of what Khepri was saying, like that certain people are leaders. Tanhi has realized that like we are all kind of leaders in different parts. So like Kepri's eventually going to be the leader that's going to take us through the desert. Tariq is the leader of, taking our notes. I'm the leader of just bashing through doors. So like everyone is picking up like their different things. And so Tanhi is like, man, I got to help other people out. And so she took Hefty Hauler because she's going to take some of the load off.
Oh,
So she's
that's
literally-
amazing.
She's just been working out more. She's like able to lift things easier.
That's why.
Do you even lift, bro?
Do you even lift?
I love
Tanhi
it.
is so strong. And Andrew always teasing me. He's like, oh my gosh, does like Khepri have a crush on Tanhi? I was like, I don't think it's like that. I think it's more
Impressed.
of a
Anime
just...
story.
Johnny's a girl boss.
Well, and I was gonna
Yeah,
say,
it's being in
you know, like
awe of her.
like how you like idolize your celebrity. You might call them celebrity crushes, but you never think like, oh, I'm actually gonna get with them. It's more of like, oh my gosh,
Woman
like
Crush
fangirling.
Wednesday.
Woman Crush
fangirling.
Wednesday.
Yes.
I love it.
I love
Very
it.
much.
I used to
fangirl.
see that as a thing like all over social media.
Woman Crush Wednesday. I think they had a Man Crush Monday too, but
They did.
Yeah.
Eh.
I used to post on the Man Crush Monday all the time.
Mithril Mondays are better.
Yeah, Mithril Monday's better. Let's go.
I have to agree because my old Facebook posts were very cringy.
All of our old Facebook posts are cringy. Nobody looks at their old posts and go, "Oh yeah, that's normal."
oh my gosh.
Oh gosh, the amount of smiley face. Like I use a lot of smiley faces, but it was bad.
I was an
yeah.
edgy, angsty teenager. Posting song
Speaking
lyrics.
of edgy, angsty teenagers, Habibi, what did
Uh-oh.
you... Oh, he's not a teenager,
Habibi.
but...
I don't even think Habibi was that edgy.
Or
honestly.
he is
Well,
after
maybe
he
with
got
his-
sick.
Maybe with his
Yeah.
family, I guess.
Well, that's
Yeah,
that
I guess,
depends.
yeah. In his family, he would be considered, I guess, edgy. But yeah, for his skill feat, he picked robust recovery, which, because everybody's sick. And it's really good because it will affect either him or whoever is doing it. So, like, he can use it on people, people can use it on him. And instead of it just being a normal success, it'll make it a critical success. So
Oh,
that
I'm
should
sure
help us
that's
nice.
all get better.
and also
I'm
get
sure
that
that's
plus
gonna be
4.
needed.
Get that sweet, sweet healing.
That's right.
Always he's chief medic. He's like the doctor nurse person of the group. Very very important. Have you given some thoughts to what you want to take for your next dedication besides Blessed One? Because eventually you're going to run out of feats, I think. Oh no, you get all of the mercy, lay on hands.
Yeah.
Never mind, you're going to be fine.
He's not going to pick anything until at least after level 10 because that's all the further I've gotten looking forward.
All right, that's fine. That's fair enough. And then last but not least is just Keryth. You have a skill feat, and we want to know about it.
So most of what Keryth has been doing so far has been like for his weapon and whatnot. But I do eventually, and I imagine we're eventually sometime going to get into downtime.
Yeah.
And so a big part with the inventor is they get really good at crafting, which makes sense.
They invent things. They're
yeah.
the inventor.
I mean, Keryth has a shop.
Yeah, he does.
He has his own workshop. So I have started my collection of the crafting skill feats. I already had crafter's appraisal, and now I have magical crafting. So Keryth
Ooh.
can now craft magical items.
Oh.
Next on my list is alchemical crafting.
Oh no.
Oh my.
But going
Oh,
into the
no.
magical
Then I can make bombs.
but going into the
Oh,
magical
I'm-
crafting, that means like you can do the runes, right?
Yeah. You can transfer the
can
rooms. You
craft
don't need
them.
to go to the blacksmith anymore.
Oh wow.
Actually,
and, I haven't added the formulas.
I was just about to
but-
ask. You
Yep.
start with 4 formulas
Yep.
for free when you get magical crafting. Have you given any thought to what you want those to be?
I have not.
Okay, just
Look
check.
I'll probably
Look up the
look at the
expensive ones.
runes in part. Yeah, I'll probably look at the runes in particular, but it can only be for common magic items.
Or any magic. Yeah, I guess you can pick like a talisman or some shit,
Yes.
or like potions even.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's magic
Yeah.
items of 2nd level or lower. But yeah. Yeah, anything that is magical, I will be able to craft. And then next skill feat, I'll get alchemical, and then I can make bombs and elixirs and lots of fun stuff.
So he's
That's
really,
really
gonna be
really
kaboom.
handy though.
Goodness.
Haven't you started
well,
enough fires? The city of Wati will say.
I haven't started one.
I
in
didn't start the
days.
I think
So
Tawny's dad would disagree.
I'm kind of curious. If Keryth is this like focused on like the alchemical stuff and he wants to get to alchemical bombs, why'd you pick wizard instead of alchemist as your dedication?
Because the alchemist isn't that great with the dedication. I'll look at it. I might take enough to at least get proficiency with bombs.
Oh gosh.
But I haven't looked at it enough to know if the dedication even gives you that much, but I would imagine it would, since that's a big part of the alchemist. But yeah, I'll probably do it enough for that.
You can also do investigator. I know they have alchemical stuff in the investigator as well. That could be fun.
Yeah, I might do it just enough to get the proficiency with the bombs. But yeah,
Well,
that's the
Katie
plan.
is ready
And I
to
mean,
make bombs.
with alchemical crafting, like he'll be able to do more than just bombs. Like
yeah.
he'll be able to make, potions
Elixirs.
and elixirs and
Oh,
mutagens,
jeez,
and a
mutagens.
bunch of other fun stuff.
Oh
So,
my, a mutagen? That's terrifying.
Mutagens are really fun. They
They're
kind
nice.
of like there's the Juggernaut mutagen basically turns you into the Hulk.
yep.
Oh my
And
gosh.
if after
Tawny on
we-
like Hulk juice.
Yeah, that is
Oh
a
my
good combination.
gosh.
I know
Yep.
a lot of people who play with a barbarian. They take an alchemist as one of their companions just to like juice up the barbarian even more.
Do it. I
Yep.
want to see that happen at least once.
Well,
Yeah, and then after we get some playing around with the magical crafting and alchemical crafting, I can also later take specialty crafting to like specialize in a particular type. Like you could do blacksmithing, for instance, and I think you get like a bonus or something to
Yeah.
the check to create it.
it's like +1. It's something small. Yeah, we can definitely look into that. I think it's going to be really interesting and really fun. I'm very excited to see where all of your characters grow. We're just getting started. I mean, we're only in like episode like 20 or something. Like we're not even done book 1, but you guys are already so deeply in love with all these characters, and I am too, and I'm really excited to see where they go. Is there anything
too.
else you guys want to mention real quick about like where you see your character going or where they've like been so far?
I think that this has been a very eye-opening experience for Khepri just because it's a lot more dangerous than things that she's normally gone through. And, I think that one thing she'll want to do is find ways to, if she could ever get, dispel disease? What is it?
Remove disease, I think.
Remove disease. She would love to have that because she's watching Habibi and Ramses and I think Tanhi and herself, they all have Phil fever right now. And she wishes she could do something about it. So I wouldn't be surprised if I saw her pick up a few things just to help out Habibi.
And I'll
Alright.
say for my character, I'm surprised, honestly, how he's kind of turned out to be more on the scholar aspect of things more than a fighter aspect. Because he is a fighter, obviously. But, like, the things that I take, and as he's, like, growing and maturing and stuff like that, it's more, like, leaning into, like, that knowledgeable aspect rather than, like, how he is in combat. I mean, I am taking things dealing with, like, with the staff and everything like that, but it's interesting, he's become kind of the note taker of the group, and he's learning as much as he can. He tries to, like, absorb all the knowledge he can from things, and so I thought that was interesting, because when I did first start out, like, level 1, when we started these out at level 1, I didn't really imagine him going there, but taking on, especially that archaeologist dedication, he's more and more growing into, like, being, I'm thinking more like a scholar who knows how to throw down.
Yeah, like more Indiana Jones. As
Yeah,
opposed to
yeah.
Gotcha.
It's
Yeah, that's
fun
pretty
because
cool.
when you make a character, you have this whole plan for them. Like, they're going to be like this and this and this. And as you play, they
Sometimes it
change.
changes.
Yes,
Yeah.
yep.
Yeah.
That's why we love
It's
this
very
game.
cool.
This is why
Yes.
this is the best game in the world.
In the world,
In the whole wide world.
universe, in the galaxy.
We definitely don't have an addiction.
No,
I
no.
don't know what you're talking about. I definitely don't play this game like 4 times a week.
4 times. Those are rookie numbers. Tell me when you get to 7. I want to
my
see a
gosh.
game every single day of the week.
Oh,
Could you
God.
imagine? Oh my god.
Yeah.
I mean,
No, I
I
was not.
totally would.
I'm too busy for that shit.
Sorry, I make you busy.
No, it's not that.
Life makes us all busy.
Yup.
Yes, it does.
Yup. Well, with as hot as it is in Texas, that just means you guys have a chance to role play your characters a little bit better with the desert sun when eventually you get there.
A little bit.
That
too
would involve
close.
us actually stepping outside.
That's true.
We are vampires.
Well,
They don't like
We'll
vitamin
get-
D that much.
I
I
take a
assure you, I
supplement.
This is why I... Same. I take supplements also.
well, I promise you, I assure you all, we will eventually get into the deserts of Osirian. I was talking about to some of my colleagues about it, but until then, that's gonna be it for this Mithril Monday. It's just a quick one, just a quick level up one. We're gonna try this again next time we level up, but until next time, I'll see you guys all next week.
Bye.
Bye.
All
Thank you
right.
for listening.
Bye.
Hey everyone, we hope you enjoyed the episode. If you liked what you heard, then please like, share, or subscribe to the Mithril Tabletop. You can find us on YouTube, Twitter, TikTok, Reddit, and Instagram. Or always feel free to email us at themithraltabletop@gmail.com. We'll see you next week. Music and sound effects are provided to you by Envato Elements. The Mummy's Mask is copyright 2014. Mummy's Mask images, characters, and artwork are a trademark of Paizo Incorporated.